Hi guys, it's Majesty Bianca here with the Financial Drive-Thru, and it's good to be back. It's great to have you join me on my very first episode of my series on crypto security. And for those of you who are active in the crypto space, it's very clear that it's a very lucrative market for scammers. And that's why in this video we're going to be talking about the most common cryptocurrency scams out there, and we're going to be talking about how to identify these, and eventually we're going to get into how to protect yourself from those. And depending on how well versed you are with the cryptocurrency space, you may already know some of them. So I'm going to do my best to drop some timestamps in the details section of this video, so be sure to check that out if you're in a hurry. And by all means, let's drive through. There are many reasons why the cryptocurrency space is profitable for scammers, and that's because the average investors are mostly greedy, or they get caught up in get-rich-quick schemes, which is something that a lot of people will fall for. And I mean, it doesn't stop there. It's currently an unregulated space. I mean, the US right now is trying to figure itself out and know where it stands in it. Certain countries like Japan and Germany have taken cryptocurrencies quite seriously and are putting laws in place to actually keep people safe. But I mean, there are a lot of countries that have no regulation whatsoever, and it's the wild west out there. So it's very important for you to be able to identify these scams when you see them and know how best to handle yourself. And that's what I want us to focus on today. Remember, the key is to preserve your money, keep your money safe, and rather than focus on all the Lambos and houses you want to buy in the future, for now you want to start off well, keep your money secure, and eventually get to that dream that you want to realize. And so without delaying this any further, let's hit our first scam, and that is phishing scams. Now, phishing could occur in a number of ways. It could be through cloned websites, ad scams, email scams, fake support claims. I mean, there's so many different ways you can get hooked in a phishing scam. And I believe it's very important to talk about and address because it's probably one of the biggest and most common cryptocurrency scams out there. Like, it's everywhere, okay? So how does phishing work exactly? It's usually an attempt to obtain sensitive information from a user, such as usernames, passwords, email addresses, card details. And I mean, in the cryptocurrency world, it can get really dicey because they're going to be going for things like your private keys and your digital wallets and all the exchange passwords that you have. So the stakes can be pretty big if you think about it that way. Personally, I think the most common phishing scam out there is through the fake websites, because they make identical replicas of the website that you're using. Many people join these websites, they enter the information, and the owners of the website can very easily just steal that information, because I mean, whereas if you're typing in a password, most people can't see them. Someone who's created that kind of website is reading it as clear as day, okay? So they have the email address, they have your password, and a lot of people are very guilty of using the same password across different exchanges, email addresses, and what have you. So think about it. If you do that and you fall prey to this kind of scam, then you're definitely putting yourself at risk, across a bunch of platforms at the same time. Now, to avoid falling prey to this kind of scam, you're going to have to do a number of things. Always double check the URL of the website that you're going to. Preferably bookmark these websites that you visit often. They'll have the autofill feature and take you to the site that you actually want to go to. Now, cloned websites would use similar letters in the URL most of the time to make it look real. So if you just take a quick glance, you may miss it. This happens to the best of us, so don't take it too personal, but once you're dealing with money, I would recommend that you double check, triple check even if you have to. And here you can see a screenshot of what should be Binance's website. Those are special characters for the letter N. It looks exactly like it would if you were just typing it in yourself, and so it's very easy to miss this, as you can see. Now, they could do the same thing through ad campaigns, using ads to lead you to phishing sites. And so you could type a search term into Google and be directed to a cloned exchange or cloned page. And interestingly enough, Google Chrome also has extensions like MetaMask to help you avoid phishing sites. So these are the random things that you should probably look into, okay? One of the more common methods would also be through email scams, okay? So they send fake emails redirecting users to fake websites, and this is where they would attempt to steal your crypto, steal your funds, and your personal information. And these usually happen during ICO crowd sales. Now, I'm sure a lot of people have received random links from people talking about the next Bitcoin. There have been many that promise you free coins, no investment necessary, just put in your name, your email address, and sometimes even a phone number, and you're gonna get like an airdrop in a couple of weeks. Well, stuff like that is usually a way to gather enough information and get leads for these people. So stuff to be very careful about. And then some scammers will even go as far as to call you up on your phone, you know, claiming to be the support team of an exchange that you use. This has actually happened to me and it was very, very annoying. Some guy, he calls me up, he says he's a support team member from Local Bitcoins. That happens to be a site I quite like for peer-to-peer trading, and he calls me up and he says he works for the support team, and he claimed that they were doing a whole maintenance thing and that there were some issues with several accounts, and he was asking for my two-factor authentication codes. And this is something that most people should know. We're going to talk about that in detail eventually, but never give out your two-factor authentication codes, and especially bear in mind that no member of any support team is going to ask you for stuff like that. It's like going to a bank and being asked for your PIN number. I mean, nobody's going to do that except they're trying to scam you. So it's one of the things to look out for. It's an instant red flag, like something you just shouldn't mess with. So on to scam number 2. Another way scammers can actually get to you through malware download. Now, people can put out a post on social media and someone is saying you can mine Bitcoin just by downloading a program. There are so many of those things right there. They want you to download an extension to your Google Chrome, for example, and the idea is if you leave this on for this amount of time, you're going to be earning Bitcoin or any form of cryptocurrency over time. And it sounds really good, it sounds like free money, but you should really be careful, because once you install those things, you're pretty much letting people into your system, and depending on what you do, that might be very, very risky. Okay, so definitely do your own research with Google and sites that you know you can trust. Interestingly enough, malware also works in another different way. I saw this headline, I think, so sometime last year or 2 years ago, anyways. What happens is scammers had already put out extensions that people should download, and when you download them, they basically use resources on your system, your computer's processing power, to actually mine cryptocurrencies for themselves. So simply by linking up to them, they're actually using your PC capacity to actually get money for themselves. Yeah, they can do this and effectively create a decentralized mining network, and you would be totally unaware about this, totally clueless. One of the telltale signs would be if you see like increased CPU or GPU usage, but this is probably only going to be noticed by the techies amongst you. So yeah, your device might be noisy, it might heat up unnecessarily. Personally, I have to use a fan on my PC at this point, but I seriously hope this is not one of those things. But I mean, oh my god. Scam number 3. Unregulated exchanges. This is a painful one, people. This is a very, very painful one. You sign up for a cryptocurrency website, you join with hopes, you buy into the ICO, they have everything out, they have their white paper, they have prospects, but they're not regulated, and you don't know this yet, because most people usually put up one certificate or the other and they claim that they have all their papers in check. Now, you've invested in them and they may exit scam, they may be victims of a hack. We've heard this one before, right? Especially right now, I think every exchange is getting hacked. Binance even, who had been claiming to be the exchange where you were guaranteed would not get hacked, got hacked. So I mean, really, is there any safe place out there? I always say it's best to just handle your own money. Keep your funds with you. Get one of those wallets. Get an Exodus wallet, get a Jax wallet, get yourself a wallet that allows you to handle your own private keys. And sure, not all wallets are compatible with all the different cryptocurrencies that you might be dealing with, but you know, you can definitely keep a bulk of it safe, and then only leave the little ones you can handle to trade with on an exchange if you have to. Or you could definitely buy yourself a hardware wallet. I'm dropping links for Ledger wallets in the details section of the video. I found the Ledger wallet to be a very good and affordable wallet. I think they usually always have some very nice deals, and so you should definitely check it out. Link in the details as well. Check it out, do your research, see if it's the kind of thing that you need. Preferably keep your money on you. I strongly advise it in, you know, the most sincere way I could possibly do. This isn't even about me promoting Ledger right now. I strongly recommend them, yes, but I mean, again, get a wallet, do something, but really don't leave your money on exchanges. It's super risky, guys. Scam number 4, fake wallets. Now, I know I just recommended getting yourself a wallet and keeping your private keys on them, so I mean, this may be like, oh my god, you just told us this, but slow down, slow your roll. There are wallets you can count on, I guess. I mean, again, this is all down to doing research, or you can take my word for it. So we're in an age where everybody is going mobile, and the Play Store is absolutely full of different apps and different wallets that you can get. I don't use an iPhone, so I can't speak for Apple, so I'm only going to be talking about Android wallets, but please let me know in the comments if you have the same thing going on with Apple wallets, I guess. But there are a lot of random people who are, I mean, they're developers, right? They can create a wallet and put it up on the Play Store. It's not that hard to get your stuff out on the Play Store, guys, but it's very easy to download a wallet that is linked to someone's wallet actually. Okay, you set everything up, you put your funds in there, and he has control. Okay, you don't have anything and you lose all your money that way. So you have to be very careful. Preferably download your wallet from the website of the cryptocurrency or wallet provider that you're about to deal with, so you don't, expose yourself to any of these risks, because it can get really, really bad. And it's like an easy way for you to give out your money if you think about it, because all you were doing was depositing to yourself, at least so you thought, and there it's just gone. Scam number 5, the pyramid and the Ponzi schemes. Okay, guys, we know these ones. I actually got into cryptocurrency because of a Ponzi scheme, and it's very interesting. There are people in the world who still think that Bitcoin is a scam or a Ponzi because it was related to these platforms. But I mean, it's a very common thing for a lot of these platforms to actually use Bitcoin, and crypto being as profitable as it is something that a lot of people would want to get into, especially if you could find ways to double your Bitcoins. There have been a bunch of these platforms that have actually scammed people, myself included, again, because I mean, like I said, I got into crypto because of these things. I only got to learn about it, and experience can be a brutal teacher because you learn the hard way. You lose money and you go through that whole sober mood where everything is just pissing you off, and then you choose to either do your research or you choose to stay broken. Definitely, I would say Ponzi schemes are the easiest way to catch people, because what they do is they take advantage of your greed. They take advantage of the fact that you want to make more money and you want to make more money quick. Banks are never going to give you the kind of interest rates that you see in Ponzi schemes, and so that alone is one of the clues that you could look out for to actually be safe. So cardinal rule, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Nobody is trying to give you 15% a day. Nobody is trying to give you 100% returns in less than a month or within a month. I mean, nobody loves you that much. I'm going to keep saying these things. Ponzi's are going to stay. They're not going anywhere because everybody out there is guilty of being greedy at some point or the other. So it's just something you have to be vigilant about. I'm now of the opinion that anything that requires you to recruit people, anything, I don't care what the company is, I don't care how legitimate they seem, I just have lost taste for anything that requires you to recruit people to grow. Okay, any true good business should be sustainable if you follow a few basic principles, right? Sure, I understand how the MLM system works. Some people make it, a lot of people don't. In fact, statistics actually say that 95% of those who get into MLM, actually I think it's between 95 to 98%, but you get the picture. 95 to 98% of people who get into MLM are going to be failures. They're going to be very unsuccessful. And I'm not saying that every referral platform is a scam. Affiliate marketing is not a scam. It's definitely a way that I feel people can make legitimate money. But when you need to do the whole bring two people, you bring two people, you bring two people, I get this metallic taste in my mouth where I'm like, really, why do we need to keep doing this? Why do we keep doing this to ourselves? So enough said on the subject, you get the idea. Scam number 6, impersonators. Okay, so you have these people who go on social media claiming to be Elon Musk. Oh yeah, Vitalik Buterin is also a victim of this. Now people open up fake accounts, use their names, and claim that they're giving away free Ethereum. It's usually always Ethereum. Ethereum got very popular mostly because of ICOs, and so if someone is giving away free ETH, trust me, people want it. So yeah, they go on these sites, usually Twitter, Instagram, and they're promising that they're going to be giving away free crypto. Very common practice for scammers. Now they have different ways they could do this. They can scam you into providing your private keys with like a huge return on investment, or the one that I saw the other day, I think it was on Sonny Dickery's page, but I realized if you're viewing someone's comments on a video, you can't exactly see how many subscribers they have. So someone used Sonny Dickery's picture and name and made a comment in Data Dash's video. Now what he was saying was he found this site, I think it was etherslive.com, and he was saying he found this site where they essentially double your Ethereum. So whatever amount of Ethereum you send to the platform is going to get doubled and sent back, and they had like a time frame. And so they set up like this whole website. Once you logged in on it, you were going to be seeing different transactions happening in real time. So in real time, I guess, So it definitely looked very believable. But I noticed it because I was like, why would Sonny Decree be promoting something like this? So I looked at the platform, right? And it took me seeing the website and saying, nah, this doesn't seem right, to go back to Data Dash's video and click on the account that promoted it. And that was where I saw he had only one subscriber. Okay, now he was using Sonny's actual image, his name and everything, but I couldn't see it because I was viewing from my mobile. So it definitely looked convincing. It looked like Sonny was actually saying he had done that. Now what was interesting was they had a bunch of other scammers who were using other prominent crypto characters to say, oh yes, they already tried out etherslive.com and they got X amount of ETH back from sending this amount and all that. So they were giving testimonials. And I could see people in the comments going, oh, thanks for this. We're going to check it out. We're going to do this and this. And I can only just imagine how many people lost money doing that. And so impersonators are definitely going to get away with your money if you're like in a hurry and you don't pause to cross check. So scam number 7, pump and dump groups. Now, if you use Telegram, you definitely know these ones. They basically come out there, they have the admins on these groups, come out and they start talking about a random coin, usually a shit coin. And the general idea is they basically talk about when they're all going to buy into this coin, and they hype up the price of the coin, and at some point they tell everybody to sell. Now, what you need to understand about pump and dump groups is they operate in layers. So there are different layers to the inner circle. There are the people who founded the group, who formed it, and then there are the next batch of people who joined, and the next batch of people who joined, and the next batch of people who joined, okay? And they operate in groups. Now, the inner circle knows all. They watch the price rise, and they start selling before they announce it. Okay, so they take their profits. And then the next batch of people, and so on and so forth. So by the time you, the regular average Joe, who just joined this site, with big dreams, hoping to make a lot of money, by the time you get the information and you have to sell, the price has most likely already started to dump, like majorly. And you may get out with some money if you're lucky, you may not, you may lose out on it, and still be optimistic. That's usually how the makings of a good scammer. They convince you that it was your timing that was wrong, and that if you stick around and you keep doing it, you just might get lucky. And again, it's probably worse off if you get lucky once or twice, because you're going to stick around and probably fall prey to this on a much, much larger scale. Another thing you need to understand, scam number 8. Yes, I got my fingers right. Scam number 8, fake ICOs. Fake ICOs, exactly like the exchanges we talked about earlier, if you think about it. I want to say that not all of them want to be fake. Some of them actually have the right intentions when they start out. They want to make their own coin, they have big dreams and all that. But the market is such a dog-eat-dog place. It can get really crazy, and so you find out people buy into your ICO in the crowdfunding stage, and they hit all these roadblocks and difficulties. So they see they can't keep up with their promises, and it's ridiculous. So if that happens, they have to exit scam or whatever. And then there are the worst ones, the scammers who actually make these coins, ask for funds, they give you a good white paper. I always encourage people to actually do like a Google search on the terms in white papers, because a lot of people do copy and paste for white papers. They don't actually create anything. They just use an existing coin, and they get you to think that this is their mission, their vision, and what they're working towards. And you invest in that coin, and they take your money and they run. So scam number 9, cloud mining scams. Right, now cloud mining was really big in 2017, particularly. That was when people would really just put some money in a platform, be getting daily returns. You put a bulk sum, and then you're very content getting your daily returns, or however often they allow you withdraw, and they're mining on your behalf, okay? So this organization has mining rigs somewhere in the world. They've shown you videos, they've shown you their pitch. They've really gotten you to believe that these things exist and that they're mining for you and they're giving you results. It's almost no different from Ponzi's, because you also have to refer people, bring in random people to make more profit, because they're going to be profiting off the new people coming in. Now, it's usually the cliche of them using the new funds to pay the old people and claiming that it's all returns from their mining activities. Learn to trade, guys. It's a lifelong skill. Learn to trade. We're gonna definitely be doing some tutorial sessions on this channel going forward. I think it's quite important, and the beautiful part about it is I'm also learning myself, so I think by teaching it I'm also going to be improving my skills. So I thank you in advance for the opportunity, and so definitely if you want to learn how to trade cryptocurrencies at this point, just type in the comments "I want to learn," and I'll know that you want this, and it'll probably egg me on to do these videos. And to round it up, scam number 10, phone hacks. Now recently, several prominent crypto influencers have reported having their funds stolen by the attacker taking control of their phones. Okay, now the way this works is shockingly simple. The most common way is that the attacker actually impersonates the owner of a phone, and they call your mobile phone provider. So they could call AT&T, and they're going to ask that their number be transferred to a new SIM card. Now for this to work, the attacker usually has access to your email address at least, possibly even your two-factor authentication codes and all the other relevant tools that are required to steal the assets. And so once your phone provider actually transfers these funds, then you're going to get it, because at that point they now have your phone number, they have all the other things that they had to go and do a forgot your password claim on any website that they want, and in that case they would receive all the information they need to the new SIM card they've created. This is particularly bad if your two-factor authentication mode is with your phone rather than using Google Authenticator or Authy. So I definitely encourage people to not use their phone numbers for their two-factor authentication. So as always, it's been a pleasure, and definitely let me know if there are any scams I left out. You could drop that information in the comment section. I'll look through it. I'd love to be updated. And also, if you have any other thing you want me to talk about, also drop that information in the comments. I'd love to have this whole back and forth thing going so I can actually know what to provide. So any information that you feel would be useful both to you and other people in the space, drop that in the comments, let me know. If you'd like to see more of this kind of content, definitely check out these videos that I've put on the side of the screen here. The top one is the one I'm recommending for you, and the bottom one is one that YouTube believes you should be watching. And sure, if you like this kind of content, do give me a like, smash the subscribe button so you can catch my videos as they drop, and remember, my name is Majesty Ibianga, and I'll see you in the next drive-thru. Thank you.